Welcome back everyone to Heroes and Villains HQ. My name is David and we have another Star Wars The Vintage Collection video today. This video is going to specifically talk about the upcoming 2026 Battle of Geonosis that Hasbro is going to be running, similar to Return to Tatooine this year. That is next year's campaign. We're going to be returning to the prequels, specifically Attack of the Clones, to revisit the Battle of Geonosis. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what we should expect and what I would like to see from this campaign next year. So before we jump in, be sure to subscribe to my channel by hitting the button down below. But with that said, let's talk about the Battle of Geonosis for the Star Wars Vintage Collection. So before we can start to speculate as to what we may be getting next year for the Battle of Geonosis, I think we need to first take a look back at the Return to Tatooine campaign this year and see what we got this year. New, reissue, retool, all of those types of things. So the Return to Tatooine campaign begins with the Mos Eisley Cantina HasLab. This HasLab was a massive playset and it included 5 total figures, all of which were brand new top to bottom. Next up, they did release a secondary playset. This was the Tatooine Streets playset. It included a re-release of a Jawa and just a couple of facades. We also got a second Tatooine playset. This is one a little bit different. It had 4 repacks, but they were all recolors of existing figures with the cardboard backdrop, similar to the original Kenner release. We did also get both a vehicle and a beast. We got the Luke's Landspeeder with a deluxe Luke Skywalker. This is a slightly new Luke Skywalker. However, it's a repack of the brand new Luke Skywalker that was released. And then the Beast was a brand new Bantha top to bottom with a brand new Tusken Raider. We also got one deluxe figure, the Moma Nadon, as well as a multi-pack. However, the Sand Trooper was the only one in this 3-pack of Stormtroopers that are part of the Return to Tatooine line. So you had to buy the 3-pack with the other Stormtroopers to only get one figure for Return to Tatooine. And then we had 7 total single release figures, 3 of which were re-releases. So in total, we got a HasLab, we got a playset, we got a vehicle, we got a beast, and we got 20 total figures. So what should we expect from Geonosis? We should expect around the same lineup of total products. And I think that the Battle of Geonosis will only be focused on the arena battle, because that's where the gunship flies in, and this is what makes most sense in terms of what I'll talk about next and what products they can make. So let's start from the top, the HasLab. Obviously, the Republic gunship is the HasLab this year. It includes 2 clone pilots, and let's assume that it does get backed and all 3 tiers are unlocked. We would get 3 Jedi figures, so 5 total figures. After that, what type of playset are we going to get? We're probably going to get a playset. I do think that this playset is going to be larger than the Tatooine playset, and this is going to be a Geonosis Arena playset. However, I think this Arena playset will be like part 1 of 3. And the reason I say that is I think the playset will include 1 pillar for Obi-Wan Kenobi and include the Acklay, which is the largest of the 3 beasts in the Geonosis Arena. I also think we'll get some sort of stand for Dooku and Nute Gunray and Poggle the Lesser. They all stand up in that kind of watchtower. I think we'll get something like that, and then a cardboard backdrop for the rest of the arena. So that's what I'm envisioning when I say Geonosis Arena playset. Some sort of backdrop showing the grandstands, 1 main pillar that you can place next to the backdrop for Dooku and Jango Fett, and then 1 pillar for Obi-Wan Kenobi to be attached to with the Acklay. Now, obviously that scene is incomplete, and to go along with that, I think instead of getting a vehicle and a beast, which is what we got for the Return to Tatooine, I think we'll get 2 beasts instead. Those being the Reek, which I think will include a 2nd pillar and Anakin Skywalker, as well as the Nexu with a 3rd pillar and Padme. So if you were to buy all 3 of these products, you would have all 3 pillars with the 3 characters, the 3 beasts, a backdrop, and then a section to place your villains. And so buying all 3 of these would complete the actual arena build for the gunship to then fly in and save the characters. I think all three of these characters, so Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, and Padme, would be the three figures included in the playsets and the beasts. And I think all three will be relatively new / kit bashes, depending on what figures are released prior to their announcements. Obviously, we may be getting a new Anakin and Obi-Wan for the Vintage Collection line for Revenge of the Sith. I think they may reuse some parts from those figures for the Anakin and Obi-Wan here. So I don't think they'll be completely new top to bottom, but they won't be complete repacks of the original figures released, 5+ years ago. After that, let's talk about multi-packs / single releases. I think we'll get one 4-pack released, and that is a Phase 1 Clone Trooper pack, including 4 white clone troopers, these being on the new bodies. This way, you can fill out the gunship with white Phase 1 clone troopers to build that clone army. On top of that, I expect probably around 8 total single release figures. And these are the figures I think will be released based on my predictions of the gunship being fully backed, all 3 tiers unlocked, getting Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Padme in playsets, and then getting a multi-pack of clone troopers. With all of that in mind, these are the 8 figures I think we may see on single card releases. Starting with 2 that I think will be complete re-releases. I think we'll see Count Dooku and Mace Windu be completely re-released from their prior release. I think we'll see a Clone Commander, the white and yellow paint job. This will just be a repaint of the clone body. I also think we'll see a repaint battle droid in the reddish Geonosis look. So obviously we got battle droids this year. I think we'll see a repaint in the reddish look. And I think we'll see 4 brand new figures, those 4 being a brand new Super Battle Droid, a brand new Yoda, and then these may be long shots, but it makes sense for the overall look. Brand new Poggle the Lesser and Newt Gunray, as these are 2 characters that accompany Count Dooku and Jango Fett in their kind of press box, if you will. I don't think we'll see Jango Fett as he was recently released, and I think at most we may get a re-release, but I don't think that'll happen. So just doing a quick recap of what I expect. Again, we get the HasLab with the gunship fully backed. We get 3 total Geonosis Arena playsets / add-ons that would give us the 3 beasts, Anakin, Obi-Wan, Padme, the pillars, some sort of backdrop, and then the main stand for Count Dooku. I think we'll see a Clone Trooper multi-pack, including 4 white Clone Troopers, and then 8 single-release figures, including a re-release of Count Dooku and Mace Windu, repaints of a Battle Droid and a Clone Commander, and then brand new figures of the Super Battle Droid, Yoda, Poggle the Lesser, and Newt Gunray. Now, that's if they follow the same trajectory of Return to Tatooine with a few new figures, some re-releases, some kit bashes, a couple of play sets. That's what I would expect to get. However, if Hasbro does decide to go all out and really fill out the arena with the characters that are needed to fill out the arena, this is my wish list of what I hope we see on top of everything else. Those are a brand new Droideka figure, a young Boba Fett figure, a Geonosian Warrior. You gotta have these to fill out alongside the battle droids, but a Geonosis Warrior. I would hope we get repaints of the clone troopers for the Clone Captain, Clone Lieutenant, and Clone Sergeant ranks. Likewise, I'd like to see a Geonosis Battle Droid 4-pack. And then lastly, you need more Jedi on top of the 3 in the gunship, including Yoda and Mace Windu on single releases and Anakin and Obi-Wan in the packs. That's still not all of the Jedi we would need. I'd like to see Kit Fisto, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Luminara Unduli, Barriss Offee, and Aayla Secura. Those 5 Jedi on top of the gunship Jedi and the other Jedi that I listed in the what to expect releases. That would really fill out the arena. So we'll have to wait and see. That's kind of my total wish list. Obviously, I wish we could see all of it brand new, but that's not going to happen. So I hope that whatever the Battle of Geonosis is for Hasbro, I hope it is bigger than the Return to Tatooine, and I hope Hasbro does more new products and not just a ton of re-releases. There's a lot of outdated, articulated figures that need updates, and I hope they take the time to actually update those figures. I do think a lot of this does depend on the gunship and how well that's received. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see what happens and hope for the best. I hope Hasbro delivers. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So with that said, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up down below and subscribe to my channel to stay tuned for more Star Wars and Marvel content. And of course, let me know in the comments down below what you think of my predictions and my wish list, and also what you would like to see for the Battle of Geonosis campaign out of Hasbro. I'd love to hear your thoughts and suggestions, so be sure to comment those down below. But with that said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.